What's up, Sarsaparilla? It's your girl Sassy, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome back, guys. Guys, the girl is frustrated. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's taking me everything out of me to record this video. It really is, because I did the review last night, recorded the video, edited the video. It was a long video, which is even more frustrating. And I finally worked on the video to get it down to 27 minutes, right? And guys, I couldn't get the video to upload. So because it was so late, it was like about 1 something. And I said, you know what? I'm so tired. I'm going to leave it till the morning. I did. I woke up this morning at about like 6 something. And I was like, oh crap, let me hurry up and try to upload this video again. Try to upload the video, guys. And I realized that, okay, my phone is blank. And I'm like, my phone battery died. I was like, okay, fair enough. I plug it in. I'm thinking I'm gonna, once it pops up, once it comes back on, I'll just, keep it plugged in and I'll upload the video. I realized that phone is not coming on. And I'm like, what the hell is phone not coming on? It takes a long time for it to come on. Finally came on. It came up with some little scribbly writing across the screen or whatever. And I'm like, okay, what's this? But anyways, it finally came on. And I'm like, let me just go straight to upload. I'll go to YouTube to create the upload. But then when it takes me to where my pictures are, there's nothing. So I'm like, what's going on here? So I come off the phone, go into my photos. There's nothing. When I say nothing, there's no pictures. There is no video. There is nothing, right? And I'm like, frig. I go to Google Photos because I'm just like, maybe it'll back it up. It has backed up nothing from yesterday. When I tell you, I am fed up. Sorry, guys. I am so angry. I'm so angry because I have to do this video all over again. And I don't fully remember all the stuff that I was talking about yesterday. But I'm so annoyed. But I feel like I can't not do the video for you guys today. So bear with me, guys. I'm going to try and remember as much as I can. If I don't say something, let's just have it out in the comments. But I'm so angry. I literally, when I tell you I'm so angry, I feel like at one point, the anger caused my soul to leave my body temporarily. Like, I'm not even joking. Do you know what I'm saying? But anyways, guys, before I get into the video, I'm going to ask you guys to give this video a thumbs up for sure. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Please like and subscribe. So guys, let me start to try and remember as much as I can. So last night was the first bit of the Grafties, and I think they only asked like 3. I think they only had like 3 awards given out. The first one was Eat, Sleep, Graph, or something, repeat, crack on, repeat, eat, sleep, crack on, repeat. And Dejon won that. So they showed a lot of bits where Dejon was just flirting with the multiple girls, all the new girls that came in, all the bombshells and whatever. And, they were just laughing about it. To be honest with you, I'll tell you, if they weren't boyfriends and girlfriends, this video would have created an issue. However, I feel like they've gotten to that place now where, first of all, Meg already knew that he was behaving a certain type of way, right? From moving out, even before moving out, but moving out just really opened her eyes to it. So she knew he was behaving a certain way. But I feel like now that they've not just become exclusive, they're literally boyfriends and girlfriends, I don't think anything before that time will make a difference, especially now that Dejon is behaving himself. But regardless of whether he's just behaving himself because there's nobody there for him apart from Meg, or he's just now very serious, but Dejon is behaving himself. Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like whatever happened previously, it's not going to bother Meg. I don't think she's going to have any issues with that. What I will say though, guys, there's a part of a clip where it shows Helena when she came back from, when they stayed the 48 hours in that other villa and they came back. And she was saying to Harrison, like, I'm all for you. Harry is smart. Harry is trying to create an argument with Helena because he wants to create an issue so he can go off and do what he wants to do and crack on with Shakira. Now, he thinks he's so slick because that happened ages ago. And secondly, he was with Shakira. And I remember very clearly, it was before Shakira went to that villa, he was crying because he said, before Helena, I should say, went to the villa, he was crying and saying that, Helena said that she didn't even want to be friends and he didn't want to lose her as a friend, blah, blah, blah. And he was in 2 minds. when they came back from the other side, Dejon pulled him and said, you know, obviously before we went into the other villa, you were having doubts and you were missing Helena. How do you feel? He said, you know what? I feel like it was out of sight, out of mind, because right now, like, Shakira is my only focus, right? And that's what he said. So you were with Shakira, you were happy with Shakira, you said you're zoning in and you want to focus on just Shakira. What did you expect her to do? Sit down and wait for you? Do you know what I'm saying? And thinking about it now, it wasn't until after Helena fully started to crack on with Harrison that he decided that he was going to come and start to flirt with Helena and do all this stuff, because more than likely he didn't want her to move on. He had, at the moment he realized that she was moving on with Harrison, that's when he comes and starts to knock on the girl's door again, the extra flirting and all these things. And then after a while, they found themselves together. But how dare you now trying to create an argument when you were in a proper couple with somebody, when you had said that you didn't want to focus on her, you want to put all your focus on Shakira. But now you want to create an issue because now you want to create some distance so you can go and crack on with Shakira. Be a man, Harry. If you want to try and be with Shakira, be a man about it and say it. Do you see what I'm saying? Be a man about it. Don't try to twist and play this game and gaslight people. Do you know what I'm saying? That really annoyed me. That freaking annoyed me. But anyways, guys, the second one, I don't know what the second award was called. I'm not going to lie. So if you remember it, comment down below. I didn't catch it last night, but I do know that Tony and Shakira won it. And I'm not going to lie. Tony and Shakira won it, but it did not make them look good. It made them look so nasty and quite bitchy. It really did. And don't get me wrong, I mean, we had a few back and forth with Meg and them, but about the comments that they made about Meg. And they always say like, oh, but you say stuff about me as well. So Meg was like, no, I didn't say anything about you guys after the whole movie night thing. I thought that we've actually been friends because when you guys are down, you know, I'm there trying to be there for you guys whenever you guys are not happy or you're feeling sad or whatever. When I'm feeling that way, the only person that is there for me is Megan if she's in the villa, or Helena. So I mean, fair enough, Helena didn't really have her back on movie night, but I know what she means because Helena has been there for her. But Tony was like, well, we don't believe you. Realistically, I don't think they said anything bad about them really since the movie night. If they did, correct me. But even if they did, guys, I'm not gonna lie, the stuff from, let's think about all the stuff that Meg has said about Meg or Helena has said about Tony and Shakira and vice versa. I'm not gonna lie to you. I said this before. The stuff that Shakira and Tony have said about the other girls are far worse than what they could ever say about them. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're far worse. And don't get me wrong, we have to also take into consideration that was movie night, and that happened right after movie night, right? And everyone was upset. People were angry. There was a lot of tension. And when you're angry and you're frustrated, you'll say a lot of things. Do you know what I'm saying? She said that Harry and Dejon was the two most manipulative people that she's ever met. And she said that she hated everybody, right? And those are very harsh words and it did not make her look good. But we have to also take in mind that she was really upset that day. And sometimes, you know, when we're upset, we have our friends, and it doesn't matter who it is, even if it's our partner that we're discussing, sometimes we just go a bit OTT and we will say a lot of stuff because we're saying it to this one person. We're not saying it to them. We're saying it to this one person that is understanding us at that time. And sometimes we say a lot of stuff that we don't even mean. I mean, a lot of mean stuff and we don't even mean. So, you know, we're not going to come down and crash them too much, but it did make them look extremely bad. Do you know what I'm saying? Especially because after that now everybody's gotten a little bit more closer. Do you know what I mean? But what I think the girls should have just said, like, listen, and they did kind of say some parts of this. They should have said, listen, this was movie night, because I remember they did say that, but they should have said, this is movie night. This happened. We were so angry. However, we're in a different place now. We're getting along a lot better. And that was the last time I said anything. And yeah, you know, I'm sorry, but I was really upset. And this is what happened, and let's move on from it. That's all they need to do in the situation, because at the end of the day, if they don't do it, it's gonna keep like escalating. Meg did start to cry because she was just like, I've been there for you guys. But And then she was like, I've not said anything bad about you guys, da da da. And then they're like, well, and if I did, people, you would have seen it, right? And that's what Dejon said. And Shakira is like, well, everybody's telling us. I'm like, I want to know who everybody is that's telling you guys, because they keep saying this, but nobody's telling them anything. Who's telling? The only two people that's saying anything, or three people that might say something that we know of, is probably just Tony, and maybe Yasmin. And I don't even hear Yasmin saying anything bad about anybody. Do you know what I'm saying? So who are they hearing these from? Because to be honest, after movie night, they haven't really. Do you know what I'm saying? They haven't really. So, and to be fair, after that time, I don't think Tony and Shakira said anything too crazy either after that time. So that's why I said this should be something that they move on from, because everyone's gotten a bit closer. I think it will kind of affect Dejon a little bit though, because I don't think, because when she said that, he said, well, I thought that we were actually friends though. Like, I genuinely thought that we were friends. So I feel like he's not gonna forget that bit. I mean, he might be able to say, okay, let's get on and move on with it, but I don't think that's gonna be in your back of your head when somebody say, you know, they hate you. Do you know what I mean? Well, she didn't say she hate him specifically. She just said she hate them, as in everybody in the villa, basically. Well, that wasn't within her clique. But yeah, Harry was a little bit shocked about it, because obviously his name was mentioned in it. But, you know, we can understand how Harry is manipulative, let's be honest. And Dejon, yeah, you know, they both are. So that wasn't exactly a lie, was it? But anyways, let's move on to the other one. The other one I think was called Flirting Performances, and Harry and Angel got that. I'm so glad that they showed Harry and Angel flirting, because I feel like Harry flirts too much, and I feel like it's so recent that Helena need to see it. But most importantly for me, I feel like, because I'm not buying the situation with Angel and Ty, and I feel like Ty doesn't know the extreme of how much Angel was flirting with Harry. Do you see what I'm saying? And I think he needed to see it. Even Harry trying to say to Helena, well, you knew I was flirting. And Helena's like, oh, well, you know, I didn't know you were laying it on that thick. Now, this is the issue, right? Because she almost gave him permission almost to flirt. She made it look like it was okay for him to flirt a little bit. So when he flirts and he comes to say to her, well, I'll just flirt in, you know what I'm saying? Even though she's not happy about accepting that, she brushes it off. And now he's walking around thinking it's okay for him to flirt. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why, ladies, you have to set these boundaries from very, very early on. Do you know what I mean? But for me, I was so glad that what's his name, Ty, got to see it, and it looked really bad. And Angel was like, oh yeah, I just thought it was just harmless flirting. It wasn't harmless flirting, because with me, I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like if Harry was really going for it and decided he wanted to be with Angel, Angel would have gone for Harry. I don't think she would have stuck with Ty. I really don't think she would have stuck with Ty. And at the end of the day, because I just don't feel, they're always kissing and all this stuff, but for me, there's just something just feels off there. It feels off. And that's why I'm glad that Ty, at least, so even if he does nothing with that information, at least you got to see it. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was low-key expecting Yasmin to be there. You know, with Yasmin yesterday, with the whole situation of her flirting with Blue, because obviously Blue and Megan came in, right? And Blue had a thing for Yasmin, and Yasmin had a thing for Blue. So when Blue pulled Yasmin, he pulled her in front of Yasmin, and she's like, well, that was quite bold, but I actually like it. That's something that I would have done. And he was saying, listen, I want to get to know you. She was like, yeah, me too, feelings mutual, da da da. Now, him pulling her, I'm like, okay, that's fine, because he's trying to build connections or whatever. It's the second time in, and he wants to make the most of his time. Now, when she pulled him in front of Jamie, I was just like, wow, because that's actually making a statement. There's nothing wrong with Yasmin trying to explore other connections anyways, because at the end of the day, they're not exclusive, and they're still open to get to know other people. They've both discussed this, so I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But when she pulled him in front of him, I was like, okay, take some balls. Now, my problem is, and the only problem I have with Yasmin, and Blue in the situation is that I feel like you can get to know people without the conversations being sexual. Why are these conversations so sexual? Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, don't we have anything else to talk about that is not including sex? Like, when you're when you're trying to get to know somebody and the first thing you're talking about is sex or sexual conversations, that becomes a norm. So every time you're together, it becomes flirty, more sexual. You don't end up building anything meaningful, right? And it just becomes, that person starts to see you as a bit of fun, which is exactly what happens with Helena and Harry. The conversations were always sexual, flirty, steamy conversations. And I've never heard Harry and Helena in any kind of like conversations that with any depth to it, or any meaningful conversations, or anything that, you know, shows that they're thinking about progressing on the outside properly, or anything to do with the future. Nothing of substance. I'll be honest, they're just always giggling or laughing or flirting or saying something else. With Shakira, I do feel like Harry and Shakira have more meaningful conversation, more serious conversations. Last night one showed you as well, when she was opening to him and talked to him and stuff. And I think those conversations that Shakira has with Harry brings out a different side to Harry, right? It does. It brings out a different side to Harry, where it's he becomes a little bit more kind of softer almost. Do you see what I'm saying? And I think that's probably why he always say that it's always felt more serious with Shakira and more kind of like fun with Helena. And the fact that him and Helena are so far gone now, and this is exactly how he feels, because he said it to Dejon that he's always felt like with Shakira it was more serious, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, for me, I'm just like frustrated for Helena, because at the end of the day, I feel like she's proper invested and she's put up with so much crap with Harry, so much for him to now want to run off and get involved with Shakira. And I said this last night, and I said it before last night, that Shakira wants to get back with Harry. A lot of people keep saying, no, she doesn't want to get back with Harry. Yes, she does. Listen to the conversation that she had with Tony. Because Shakira's like, you know what, well, they're exclusive now. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, she has these feelings, but there's not much she can do right now because they're exclusive. That's basically what she was trying to say, right? And then Tony was like, you know, and that means nothing. Do you know what I mean? For me, personally, I know, I could tell, if Harry gravitates back to Shakira, she will. She will go back to him. Don't get me wrong, Shakira is not stupid. She knows Harry is not the best fit for her. She knows Harry is not right for her. But Shakira is in a very vulnerable state right now, because she's having all these emotions, right? And these emotions included feeling rejected from the whole situation with Harry. She still has these feelings that she has with Harry. And to be honest with you, maybe she wasn't even in the villa with Harry. These feelings would have gone already. But when it's in your face and the person's in your face, it's hard to move on. When you're in contact with the person, it's hard to move on. And bear in mind, Harry is really manipulating, right? to be honest with you, because the moment Connor told Harry that Shakira, he believes Shakira still has feelings. If you notice how he started gravitating towards her, talking about, you know, we can still go on the pie date, talking about how, you know, we should really be friends when we come out of the villa, talking about all these things, you know, really trying to get into her head, trying to, you know, break her, because she's already vulnerable. He's trying to see if he could worm himself into the mix again. Do you see what I'm saying? And unfortunately, it might happen. It might happen. At this moment in time, I don't even think Helena should even choose to be with Harry. Even if Harry decides, okay, Helena, I actually thought about it and I want to be with you. I don't want to do the whole thing with Shakira anymore. I just think Helena should just say, you know what? No, let's be single and let me just live my best life until I get done from this villa or Love Island finishes. Because at the end of the day, there's only so much one could take, and the level of disrespect all the time, I just feel like it's too much. Harry doesn't think there's anything wrong with flirting. The same way how Harry is now. If he's doing all of this in front of these girls, he's going to go outside, he's going to do the same thing. When these girls slides in his DMs and Helena is not there to see it, or even Shakira is not there to see it, you know, he's going to keep doing it. And then he might be out there flirting and he will expect Helena to be okay with it, because guess what? You know, she knows I'm a flirt and it means nothing. No. If you respect the person you're with, you don't do that. He made the decision to be exclusive. And yes, you can be exclusive and decided, oh, I don't want to be exclusive anymore. You're fully, you have the right to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I just feel like at this stage, this should not be happening. Do you know what I mean? Harrison, fair enough, he acted like a complete fool. But when it came down to the time and it mattered, he left. He left for Lauren because he wanted to show her that I'm being serious. Now, he did that. Dejon, in the end, decided I'm going to be exclusive. And now he's made Meg his girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Harry is 30 freaking years old. At what point are you going to look within yourself and say enough is enough? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to stick with it. It's either Shakira or it's Helena. At the end of the day, stop wasting these girls' time. Stop hurting these girls. And I'm so fed up about this whole situation. Do you know what I'm saying? I will say there was a part when Tony and Shakira, and they were arguing back and forth, and they were saying, you know, there's been a segregation in the villa, and the girls were like, it's always been like that because, you know, you come in and there's always one set and then one set. There is, right? And I don't know if you guys remember when I said it was my first couple episodes when Shakira and Tony together, that segregation was caused from that moment. They isolated themselves from that moment for the rest of the girls when they were talking about how the rest of the girls were hating on Shakira because Shakira was talking to their man and she was getting to know the man to make them a decision and whatever. That I remember. If you guys don't remember, you can go back and watch one of those videos. It was when Shakira had 24 hours to find somebody that was attracted to her. So it's right at the beginning. And I said, they're already isolating themselves. They're going to start like a segregation between the other girls in the villa. Right? I'm using the right word, right? I think I am. If I'm not, please forgive me. But yeah, so it was from that moment and it carried on where Tony and Shakira had been like this and they kept themselves to themselves. When then they started the whole thing of where they would talk mean about the other girls and whatever. And they would have each other's back. But it was from that moment it started. So they're trying to now blame this on Megan and Helen. It's not necessarily a Megan and Helen thing. It didn't start with Megan and Helen. But at the end of the day, you know, everybody has a role to play with it as well. Because, yes, it was that moment that it started, but the other girls, they also contributed to the fact that they decided, okay, well, we're going to do our own thing. So everybody needs to take responsibility and accountability for it. They can't just blame it on just one specific set of people. But I will say to you, from that moment is when this started. So if Shakira and Tony want to say point fingers, it's literally started with them. It literally started with them at that point. But anywho, guys, I am hoping that I haven't missed out on anything. I don't know. I know I missed out on a lot of things because the video last night was a lot longer. And I feel like I'm so deflated right now that I don't even, yeah. But like I said, if I don't remember to say something, just comment down below. I am worried about the whole, not worried, but I'm kind of like, as much as I want Yasmin to get to know other people, I don't want her to, because she said it would take a lot for her to change from Jamie, but I don't want her to do anything stupid because at the same time, I feel like her and Jamie has something good. But if she still has that wandering eye to want to get to know somebody else, that means that, you know, it's something that she feels like she needs to do. And if you feel like you need to do it, then you might as well do it. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to be respectful about it. I feel like they will bring it up in the Grafties. And if they do bring that up in the Grafties, I don't know if it's going to be too short notice for them to do so. But if they do bring it up, I feel like it will make Jamie feel some type of way. Do you know what I mean? Especially when that just happened. Because remember, she had pulled Blue for a chat. They talk all these sexual conversations and she was like, oh, and then she came back and she sat right there next to Jamie. Do you know what I mean? Because even Tony was like, don't just come back here and sit and not say anything. And she's like, oh, well, I did enjoy the conversation. And the conversation, he was a bit flirty. No, you both were flirty. Do you know what I'm saying? You both were flirty. And you can get to know somebody else, but the conversation doesn't need to be a sexual conversation, because realistically, if the shoe was on the other foot and Jamie had pulled somebody right in front of her, I feel like the whole villa of girls would have had something to say. Do you see what I'm saying? And I don't think that it's fair that, you know, he just has to accept it, and he's accepting it because he's not making a big deal about it. But I just feel like if they showed that clip, then he will, you know what I mean, he'll feel some type of way. And to be honest, rightly so, because you can pull somebody and get to know somebody and don't go all sexual, because what Yasmin basically entertained in that conversation is the same thing that Dee and Harry basically been doing. You know what I'm saying? It's just that we like Yasmin, and Yasmin's a girl, and you know what I mean? But for me personally, I just feel like she needs to be very, very careful with that. And hopefully they don't show, well, I don't even know, because I don't want them to show it in one way, because I feel like, I think they're so cute, and I don't know, but whatever is in the darkness must come to light, right? But anyways, guys, like I said, I don't know what I've missed out, and I'm sure I've missed out quite a lot, because no, I remember something. So the Shakira and Connor situation, Shakira was crying, and she said to Connor, like, I felt like I was gonna lose you, and I didn't want to lose you as a friend, and you know what I'm saying, and she was crying. In that moment, I felt so sad for them, because do you know what, they would have made such a cute couple. And I do know that she likes him, but it's just not enough. And to be honest, it's gonna be hard for her to really like him enough to want to be with him if you're in love with somebody else, or you have strong feelings for somebody else that's right in front of you every single day. Do you see what I'm saying? So I completely understand that, and I felt bad. And I keep saying, like, you could tell that he likes her. Connor does like her, because he was saying to her, listen, it's okay, you're not going to lose me. But when they were in bed, he said, look, it's just because it's hard, because like, he's got female friends, but I think he's just never had a friend like Shakira where they've gotten so close, they were hugging, they were kissing, and all these kind of stuff. And I feel like when you cross a line with a friend, right, it becomes really hard for that friendship to remain a pure friendship. And in order for that to remain like that without feelings, you have to really fight and really work on it. And I feel like Connor will struggle a little bit. I think he will, because he was even crying in bed and stuff. But I think Megan came in at the right time, because she will distract him from feeling all these emotions in the situation, but also it will help Shakira, because it will take off some of the pressure from Shakira for feeling bad, seeing, kind of being sad about the whole situation. Because if Megan didn't come in and he didn't have that distraction, he would have probably been moping around the villa. He would have taken it a lot more harder than he's currently taking it. Do you see what I'm saying? So I feel like Megan coming in actually will work in both their favors, if that makes any sense. Do you know what I'm saying? So let's see how that unfolds, and then and see how everything works out, and see what else they're gonna show in the Grafties. I guess we're gonna see some. It's Friday today, right? So we're gonna see some good bits, I'm guessing, that might cause a little bit of an upset in the villa. And more than likely they're going to leave us on a cliffhanger. I don't even know. But yeah. But anyways, guys, God, I've come to this end of the video. Listen, when I say that, I just remembered last night, right? But if you haven't yet thumbs up the video, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe. Guys, apologies for this video being up late, but honestly, I considered not doing this video. I said, I'm not doing this shit again. I'm not going through this. I did it last night and it did not work. It's a sign. But you know what? I thought to myself, I need to give you guys something. So here is the something. So if I left something out of the something, please forgive me. And let's talk about it in the comments. But anyways, a quick shout out to Tracy. Thank you for that super thanks that you left me yesterday. I appreciate it. But also, I don't know if you heard my shout out for you joining my membership. I appreciate you. So a big shout out to you. I did it in a few videos ago, but I don't know if you actually saw those videos. So a big shout out to you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for everybody that's watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. But for now, keep it sassy-licious.